All right, so friends, we are going to do some multi-step trig today. Make sure you have your calculator ready to go, whether you're using the Desmo Scientific app or a handheld TI-83 calculator or 84 or whatever you've got. Make sure you have that ready to go and make sure it is in degree mode. All right, so for the first 6 questions, our goal is to find the side labeled X. On the triangle that has X, at this point in time, we don't have enough information. So we're going to have to use this other triangle first to find a missing side that we can use on our second triangle to help us find X. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to label this shared side here Y. I need to find that shared side first because I'm going to use that piece of information on both triangles. So starting with the triangle on the left, I'm going to use the angle of 35 degrees. So for this triangle, Y is adjacent, and this is our hypotenuse. So adjacent and hypotenuse give me cosine. So I'm going to have the cosine of 35 is equal to Y over 28. Multiplying by 28 on both sides tells me that Y is the same as 28 times the cosine of 35. So that's exactly what I'm going to put into my calculator. 28 cosine of 35. Now it did tell me that I'm rounding all answers involved to the nearest tenth. So I'm going to say that my Y value is 22.9. So now I know that Y is 22.9, and I'm going to move over to my other triangle here, and now I'm using 47. So Y in relation to 47 is opposite. X is our hypotenuse. So opposite and hypotenuse means we're dealing with sine. I know that Y is 22.9, and I don't know our hypotenuse. This is a scenario where I'm going to switch those two. So I know that X is going to be the same thing as 22.9 divided by the sine of 47. So I'm going to do 22.9 divided by the sine of 47. And it tells me that X is 31.3. So we're going to do this same process on the next 5 questions. Some of them I am going to tell you to pause and do by yourself and then come back, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. All right, so with some small triangles like this, it might be hard to realize that they mean 60 is this angle in here. But because this is my 90-degree angle, I know it has to be this one that's 60. So this shared side is the one I'm going to find first. So in terms of angle 60, Y is the opposite, 14 is the adjacent. That means I'm dealing with tangent. So multiplying by 14 on both sides tells me I'm doing 14 times the tangent of 60 to get Y. Making sure you're in degree mode. So this is 24.2. And now using 24, this is opposite and hypotenuse. So I'm dealing with sine again for x. So sine of 24 is y over x. So 24.2 over x. So in my calculator, I'm going to put 24.2 divided by the sine of 24. 24.2 divided by the sine of 24. So since I'm rounding to the nearest tenth, 59.98 would round that up, which would make this 60. Oh, I did 24.4. Lord have mercy, it's 24.2. So it's not 60, it's 59.5. Whoops. Sorry, friends. All right. We're going to do number 3 together, and then I'm going to have you try some of the other ones without me and pause the video. So 20, again, this is a right angle, so 20 is this angle down here. 64 is this angle up here. Going to label my vertical side Y. So in terms of 64, this angle here, I have Y being the adjacent and 30 being the hypotenuse, which is cosine. So in our calculator, we're going to put 30 cosine of 64. And that tells me that our altitude or our vertical line here that's shared is 13.2. So now in terms of the 20, I have the opposite and the adjacent side labeled. So that means we're talking to tangent. Opposite side is y, so that's 13.2. The adjacent side we don't know. This is a flip-flopper. So 13.2 divided by the tangent of 20 is going to help me figure out what x is. Oops, divided by the tangent of 20. So I've got 36.3. All right. Pause your video. Go ahead and try number 4 without me. When you finish it, unpause your video and come back. All right, so using y first, I have opposite and hypotenuse. So I have sine of 21 is y over 45. So in order to find y, we need to do 45 sine of 21. Oops. I don't want y. That's not my final answer. So to find x, I have opposite and hypotenuse again. Y is 16.1. So in my calculator, doing 16.1 divided by the sine of 34. So I get that x is 28.8. Same thing. Hit pause. Try number 5. When you get an answer, come back and then double check. All right. Opposite and hypotenuse again for 44. So we've got 9 times the sine of 44. So y is 6.3. Now with 35, I have opposite and adjacent. So I have the tangent of 35 here. Opposite is y, so 6.3. Got a little switcheroo. So in my calculator, I'm going to do 6.3 divided by the tangent of 35. Which gives me an x value rounded to the nearest tenth of 9. All right, last one in this section. Pause, see how you do, come back, and then check with me. All right, adjacent, hypotenuse. So cosine of 70 is y over 11. So we're putting 11 cosine of 70 in our calculator. So y is 3.8. Opposite and hypotenuse for 30. So in our calculator, we've got 3.8 divided by sine of 30. So x is 7.6. All right, so that's if we're just trying to find the sides or a missing side. If I was trying to find all the missing sides, I would also have to find this side down here and this side down here. So for that, just as an example, I could use opposite and hypotenuse, so I could use the sine of 70 being z over 11. So I would have 11 sine of 70. So z would be 10.3. Again, this is if the question asks you to find all missing sides. Here, I've got adjacent and hypotenuse. You could also use y to find r and do tangent. Let's do that. So tangent of 30 is opposite over adjacent. Switch those two. I'm going to do 3.8 divided by the tangent of 30. 3.8, oop, helps if I clear my calculator. So then r would be 6.6. Again, that's if a question asks you to find all the missing sides and not just one missing side. Now, sometimes they might ask you to find the area of the triangle. Hopefully this has been beaten into your head at this point. Area is 1/2 base times height. Now, the height of a triangle has to meet the base at a 90-degree angle. That means I'm finding my altitude. It's this vertical piece here. So this is my height. And this whole piece is our base. We don't have everything we need yet, because I need this piece in order to find the whole base. I also don't have the altitude or the height. So the first thing I'm going to do is find the height using the triangle on the right. Then I'm going to find x using the triangle on the left. Then I will be able to find the area. So relating to the 30-degree angle, this is opposite and adjacent. So this would be tangent of 30. So in our calculator is going to go 29 tangent of 30, which gives us a height of 16.7. The 52 is this angle up here at the top. So I've got adjacent and opposite. So again, I've got tangent. So opposite is x, adjacent is h, so 16.7. So in my calculator, I'm going to do 16.7 tangent of 52. 16.7 tangent of 52. So our x value is 21.4. So the area of this triangle is going to be 1/2 of the base, which is 21.4 plus 29, because I have to put these two pieces together, multiplied by the height of 16.7. And you can actually take that whole thing and put it straight into your calculator. 1/2. Oops. Maybe I can put this straight into my calculator. Times 21.4 plus 29 times 16.7. So just creature of habit, I always put units squared there. So go ahead and try number 8. Hit pause. See if you can follow the steps that I just did in number 7. Find the area. When you've got to a final result, unpause the video, come back and double check and see how you did. So this angle here is 70. So I've got opposite and adjacent again, which is tangent. So h over 32, because h is the opposite from 70. So I'm going to do 32 tangent of 70. Which gives me 87.9. Then I'm going to use that with 29, opposite and adjacent, to find x. So since h is opposite, that's going to be in the numerator. So to find x, I'm doing 87.9 divided by tangent of 29. 87.9 87.9 divided by tangent of 29. Which gives me x being 158.6. So then area is 1/2 the base, which is the 32 we started with, plus the 158.6 times the 87.9. So 1/2 times 32 plus 158.6 times 87.9. Oh boy, 8,376.9 square units.